Hey guys, welcome to 5,000 Miles, where we react to and review our favorite television shows and movies. My name is John. This is Brandy sleeping up in her bed here. We're over in Philadelphia.
And my name's Vince, and I'm 5,000 miles away on Maui.
And here on today's video, we're just doing a real quick video to speculate about some stuff that we saw about DeVito and what's going on here with the future of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, given that they're 17 seasons in, 20 years in, and some stuff that is going on possibly with Danny DeVito's aging. So we're just going to talk about what we read and speculate a little bit. So that's what we're here to do today.
Danny DeVito is 80 right now. He's going to be 81 in November, so that's only a couple months away. I feel like as long as he's able to do the show, he would still be doing it. So I don't think he's going to like age out of being able to do the show. But I do feel like the show is starting to reach like a natural ending. Do you feel that way also?
I don't necessarily think that, but I do think that the Always Sunny crew, as close as they are, I don't think that they would want to continue without Danny DeVito. And I don't think even the fans would want them to. I mean, I guess theoretically, there could be a scenario in which I wanted to, but they have to get out in front of it, right? I mean, he's 80. I thought he was 79, but you're saying he's 80 freaking years old.
I don't think that Danny DeVito would ever just stop doing the show because of
No.
his age. He's given so much to the show over the last 20 years. And I don't think anybody could picture, Always Sunny in Philadelphia without Danny DeVito in it. Out of the last 17 seasons, he's been in 16 of those seasons, right?
Yeah, for sure. When you look at how they just wrapped up season 17, they introduced this new love interest who's going to stay on for next year. And I feel like it's almost, if you read between the lines there, it might be a way of going, hey, let's get out in front of this and give ourselves a legitimate plot out in case something goes wrong with Danny's health. I mean, it's just a reasonable thing to think. Like, we need a way for it to make sense within the context of what's going on in the show, that, like, we could have him move away with his girlfriend, like they did with Michael Scott at the end of Office. They were just like, okay, he's married, he's gone, it is what it is.
I don't look at it as if they're giving themselves a like an out to kind of like write him out of the show. And it sort of seems like they're reaching a point where in the writing room they're starting to be like, you know what, like maybe this is starting to wind down, and maybe they're going to bring it to a natural conclusion. And I think the whole thing with Danny DeVito getting a girlfriend, like a permanent love interest this far into the series, might be a way of like giving that character like a nice arc. It's sort of like putting a nice little bow on his entire story.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, this is all just speculation. They're certainly contracted for season 18. I know that to be true.
Well, it's more than speculation because there's been multiple articles of multiple people from the show talking about the fact that season 18 might be the last season. There was a Hollywood Reporter article where they were talking to Danny DeVito, and he was saying how he really liked getting like a girlfriend or sort of like a love interest for his character.
Yeah.
And he also said that that this season 18 might be the last season, and that would be like a nice way to kind of wrap it up. Also, there was another Hollywood Reporter article with Charlie Day where he was talking about how in season 17 he went into the writer's room. Not They knew that there was already going to be a season 18, but they went to the writer's room for season 17 kind of with the understanding that that the show is starting to wind down. There's
Yeah.
been multiple sources of people talking about the opportunity for season 18 to be the last season.
Who
But
know?
the
Who
fact that
knows?
they're
Yeah.
only doing the fact that they're only doing 8 episodes per season, that's something that you see when shows start winding down. Right now, they're the longest running live action sitcom of all time. So
Yeah.
nobody would fault them for
No.
trying to wrap it up and explore other things.
Yeah, and it's not like, Glenn's really a legitimately great actor. Charlie's a movie star. Caitlin Olsen's got her things going, and Rob owns the soccer team. They certainly have other incredibly substantial ways to spend their time. And, you know, I I know that they love Always Sunny all the way down to the marrow in their bones. It's who they fucking are. But when they stare down the actual prospect, the actual prospect of being like, okay, we're gonna end this, man, that I wonder, first of all, when it finally does happen, how and what they're gonna do, and my the emotional fallout for me is going to be significant. It's going to be like, man, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow. Even if I'm totally okay with how they do it, story wise, actor wise, execution wise, even if it's all great, I'm still going to be just like, I'm going to have to process it for a while, man. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, and I mean it's going to be hard on them also for to end something that's been such a monumental part of their lives for so long. But like you
No
said, they
doubt.
all have other projects. You know, they've got kids to raise and movies to do and Wrexham soccer teams to
To
manage.
continue getting promoted season after fucking season, man. It's unbelievable
So,
what
I
they're
mean,
doing in Wrexham,
they
man.
they all have so many other irons in the fire right now, and I don't think anybody would blame them for wanting to bring this to a conclusion. And also you got to look at the fact that you know maybe they're also kind of like running out of steam as well. Like
Possibly.
as much as all the new episodes have been good, and they're continually putting out quality episodes, like how much more can you wring out of these characters? You know what I mean?
I think they can
And
keep
I mean,
going.
I do feel like the show is a little bit evergreen because they do a
Yeah.
really good job at commenting on stuff that's going on in real time
Yeah.
and commenting on current events. So I mean, like I feel like they could continue to do that, but at what point does the show start to feel like it's just kind of treading water?
Well, that is the question. They're definitely not there, and the thing is that they're so self-aware they wouldn't allow themselves to do something where they actively felt like that. So I just think that like it's a cold hard truth when you look at Danny DeVito's age for them to actually think to themselves like that does factor in. It's not the reason we're going to wrap the show, but not only is he 80 years old, like the shit we ask him to do is pretty active. Like it's a
Yeah.
challenging role for a fucking 80-year-old. The purpose of this video is to just shed a little light on those articles that we read, because it definitely like got me a little worked up when I first read them. Like, oh, whoa, hold on,
Yeah.
you're talking about actually ending fucking Always Sunny? I got to read this article.
Yeah.
And just anybody that's out there that's
Maybe we
Always
just
Sunny
have to
people.
emotionally start preparing ourselves for the possibility,
Yeah.
that we might have to, if you love something, set it free.
Oh man. So yeah,
Maybe it's
guys.
time for Always Sunny to kind of spread its wings and fly away and give everybody in that show a little bit of a break and some breather room.
They should have a fucking parade.
How long do you think it'll take before we see another live action sitcom go 18 seasons?
It won't happen in my lifetime if it ever
Especially
happens
a
at all.
comedy, especially a comedy sitcom.
It's so fucking beloved. You know what I mean? It not everything gets to beloved status, but Always Sunny is beloved.
It
And
is beloved. And also, here's another thing we got to consider too is that not that they've ever been concerned about being PC, but the cultural landscape that we live in is dramatically different than it was 2 decades ago.
no
And
doubt.
there's episodes from the first couple seasons that you can't show today.
Well, they actually have a
You know?
couple. The where they just like the South Park got pulled. There's 2 or 3 episodes of Always Sunny that have been pulled because of blackface or whatever, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever, got it.
Yeah, and it's not like they did it with any sort of harmful intent,
Course
or
not.
the episode that involves with D dating a R word, which I won't say, but
Sweet.
and at the
Kev,
time that
little
that came
Kev.
out, it was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, for
wasn't
sure.
meant to be hurtful, but there's a lot of stuff that you can't get away with in today's in today's media. And at a certain point you got to consider like maybe their type of comedy is difficult to execute.
Yeah.
'Cause they said that like they have so much violence on the show too,
Yeah.
and they said they're always surprised by the fact that nobody ever cares about like extreme violence or gore or anything that they've shown on the show. Violence is always completely fine in the American landscape.
Yeah.
But if you make like a joke that's a little bit offensive or you say a naughty word or something like that, then everybody gets all up in arms.
Yeah, well, that's just America talking out of both sides of their mouth, which is what it fucking loves to do. And anybody looking for any excuse to point their finger at somebody. And so like I hope that kind of thing doesn't factor into their decision at all when the time comes, because the worse that kind of bullshit. I think
they've done a great job.
Yeah, they certainly have.
They've done a great job navigating the minefield that is like the Twitter police, and for them to continue pulling off their type of crass like humor and still not have gotten like canceled at all. I think there's something to be said for that.
No doubt. So I feel like the worse that kind of bullshit gets, the deeper in the Always Sunnies and the South Parks of the world have to dig their heels to be like we're drawing the line here, okay? This shit's funny. Yeah. Funny's funny. Get the fuck out of here.
So also we'll put some links to the articles that we were talking about in the notes.
Yeah. Let us know out there, Always Sunny Nation, how you're feeling about the potentiality of the end. Just after reading these articles, figured we'd talk about it a little bit, and then deep down in my subconscious, hope that the Always Sunny guys come across this and go, well, we can't let these guys down. Let's keep going.
And also, what do you think an Always Sunny finale would look like? Do you think they would kill off Frank?
I have no idea, but I'm fully confident knowing that how much it means to them, they'll land on the right thing, whatever it may be.
What do you think? Do you think they'll do like a Seinfeld and the gang goes to jail?
Who knows?
Or maybe they all die, like the bar blows up or something like that.
Yeah, I would like for them to just, because there's no way they can actually have like them get married or this or that. Like they should definitely have some like harebrained scheme blow the fuck up in their face once and for all. That would probably be the right way to go.
So let us know in the comments, what do you think is going to happen when they finally do end the show? How are they going to end it?
For sure. So yeah, let us know in the comments, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Yep.